Yeah, shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Ben Israel checking in from the Kodesh God homestead. Let you have a praise. Um, you know, our praise the most I have for this day. As you can see, this is like a breaking news. The stuff has happened. Um, Let me just put this up here across the street, across the screen. African Americans home demolished, right? African American home demolished in Ghana. I know it is demolished in Ghana. So I mean, I have a live coming up after about talking about another topic, but I just thought to bring this out quickly because of what has been surfacing from the diaspora over in the land of Mother Africa. So it seemed like it's gaining some traction. It seemed like it's really becoming a concern to many. I just checked out a couple videos. Just saw some news there about and just doing some quick check to see to validating the information because I like to do when I see hear a news, I like to do a quick check to verify to validate that the information is correct or it's not just gossip. But it apparently seemed like some homes has been demolished from African Americans who have moved to Ghana on a certain land that was acquired. I saw a brother doing an interview with one of the person who is affiliated with the property, say that he has a 49-year lease on the property or 40 something years lease, and they're just almost halfway there on the lease. So it is very disturbing that the demolition happened, and obviously there might be some actions later, but it is very frightening. I mean, many awakened Israelite who is in the Western world in North America, coming back to knowledge of the truth of their nationality and hearing Africa and going back to Africa and want to go back. People have to exercise great caution, grave caution when they decide to move from to a country that they don't know and don't understand fully the culture and the customs and the high level of even corruption in those countries, and not aware of steps to take before they take out their money. And I'm not saying no, not about necessarily this land that the home got demolished, but just the fact that I have information from different sources as well that you know fraudulent activity happening in the purchasing of land, extortion, thievery, right? So, I mean, and from a source who went over in the diaspora, moved from America, went to Ghana and faced that type of situation. So, um, people have to be very cautious when they go. You know, I'm here in the islands, one of the islands here in Jamaica. Let the be praised. I mean, when we left North America and we came back to this side of the world, and we came back here. I mean, we, people have to be meticulous about where they go and what they do because yeah is righteous, and I know many of the brethren they say go back to Africa is a year of return, and Ghana had a year of return, and all those who come would be permanent residents. And I've heard from testimony as well, it's not so as they advertise, you know, because I know people who leave, North America and go and go back to, go to Africa in Ghana right now. When I talk to my contact, it is not as they advertise. There's a lot of extortion and returning Israelites or Negroes, they call it African American, they call it, not just from United States, but also from Canada. And it's not as how it seems. Things are not always as it seems. And if you're seeking the Most High, yeah, as we are seeking in these last days, we have to know and we have to understand and we have to do some due diligence. We have to really know how government system work and process. Because as you can know, Africa in many states have a lot of corrupted people, as a lot of places in the world. But if a person should desire to leave Africa, leave America, United States, or a person is in the United States, live all their lives in the United States and decide to move to Africa, or in the United States and decide to buy land in the United States, a person would be aware of a lot of the government policies and aware and know how to do their due diligence because they were born there and they understand the system. But when you move to a new land, and if you don't understand the system in that new land, then you can be a victim of cons and extortions and thievery and lots of fraudulent activity if you don't fully understand or aware of a certain system and how government system operate. You might see something looking legitimate and it's fraud. So um, be mindful, be mindful and be cautious of when you move and how we decide to move. Let the Abba praise. We continue to seek the Most High. And many people, people talking about, say, they'll get the word from the Most High to move to here to there. You know, as a brother, I cannot be in a position to tell a man or his family that they didn't get the word from Yah. But we know when Yah sent you, as he did Abraham, he sent him to a place and he gave him the land of the possession to the seed after him. So when Yah moves, he moves and he moves righteously. So, just you have to always be on the alert. You have to always be aware. You have to always be cautious, right? You have to always be cautious of where you go and what you do because it is unfortunate to hear these news about people being demolished and it seems like people have an issue with it because it seems like it's something is happening, you know, and I hear from word in the land of issues with purchasing of land. So whenever you're looking to purchase, whenever you're considering these things in these lands, just you have to be careful and do your due diligence. Double check, triple check, 5 time check those papers. If you go to a government office and you say, oh, it's from the government office, go back and check, talk to somebody else. Go higher up, speak to the supervisor because you hard earn US dollars or Canadian dollars or pound that you have worked hard to say you want to go back to the land. You may just find it being extorted and you get a land that is really not yours. And then when it shows that you were frauded, you will have no case to defend that property. So be careful of what you do when you purchase land. It's tricky business, and unfortunately, there are a lot of thieves and a lot of evil people out there looking for lucre gain. But Yah shall deal with all of them in his due time and due season. All of them in due time and due season. Because people are greedy of money and greedy of gain. They don't really want to work for it legally. They want to, they want to spend time with fraudulent activities. So, it is, it's not pleasant news coming out of, Ghana based on what's happening, based on what we are seeing. I saw a little short clip about with the bulldozer and people looting. It's like they hear about demolition and the media, the small clip says people are looting. That people are looting the stuff that they are. So I cannot validate that. I cannot validate some other, but you see these short clips and people showing the video of what's going on. I'm not there on ground. I cannot substantially validate these claims and information, but I just wanted to come out quickly to say if these things are really happening in Ghana, it is very sad, very unfortunate, because Ghana and the presidents have promoted return from the diaspora back to the land. I go, I try to be seated in the Most High, yeah, for Yah to guide me where to go with my family, because you always have to be cautious of people. People will be people, and if they're not in the Most High, not because it named Ghana, we think that we came from the west coast of Ghana through slavery, through the gate of no return, means that those people are people of Yah. The people in these countries, they are not people of Yah. They may be of the nationality of being an Israelite, some of them, but if they are not following the laws, the statutes of the commandment, they are bounded by Hasatan and a reprobate mind for greed and lust and thievery and hater of good. So just be mindful and cautious whenever you go out there. I just want to do this quick, short live here just to say, you know what? Be diligent, be cautious, whenever you go to a land that you don't know, that you weren't brought up, that you don't understand your systems. You got to do your proper due diligence. That you don't spend your money that you may have saved, you may have disposed of your assets in all these countries to go to the land and find yourself in issues that you have a praise. Seek the Most High in all things. Don't be too shy in doing 5-6 time checks, even when you get something from a government office. Because if they can be corrupted, then corruption stems deep. So you don't lose your money because they don't know you. They don't really care about you. So just wanted to, bring out this breaking news that I'm hearing out of the land. I don't normally pop on for these breaking news, but I think based on what I've heard from a couple of brothers, from North America who went there, and in similar fashion of the corruption that they encountered, just be cautious. This is Ben Israel checking out from the Kodesh Garden Homestead here in the islands, Jamaica, where the land meet the cloud. We continue to seek the Most High. Stay strong out there and be cautious, people, whenever you're moving into these lands. And do your due diligence. Plenty of it. Shalom, shalom. Stay safe. Hallelujah. I have a live broadcast coming up in the next hour or so. We're talking about some other topics, but I just started popping early on this one. Shalom. Stay safe out there. Hallelujah. Praise Yah.